Hi, Skills Champions. Welcome to Skills on the Hill. I'm Katie Spiker, National Skills Coalition's Managing Director for Government Affairs. I'm standing in today for our usual host for Skills on the Hill, Rachel Unruh, because I've got a great conversation coming up with Harin Contractor, who's joined us today. Harin is the Workforce Policy Lead at the National Economic Council and Senior Policy Advisor at the White House. Harin, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Great, so let's jump right in. We can make this quick and effective. Many of the folks who are listening today will recognize that the White House and administration are working on implementing the bipartisan infrastructure law that was passed last year. Well, workforce was not explicitly funded as part of that at the levels that either the administration or our network was championing. There are nearly $1 billion that could be used to support workforce in that. And one of the ways that you all are working to implement and ensure that network partners are able to access that dollars is through what you're calling the Talent Pipeline Challenge. Can you tell us what that challenge is and what are your goals?
Well, thanks, Kate. Thanks for the opportunity. Thanks for your partnership. We're really excited about the Talent Pipeline Challenge. We've seen a lot of employers try to step up and do the right thing. A lot of local communities, employers are excited about the prospect of these game-changing grants to actually revive their local economies and fix our infrastructure that has been needed for a long time. But at the same time, there's a need for the demand of labor and capacity and workers to do these jobs. And so while employers are stepping up in ways we haven't seen in decades, they're not traditionally tied to some of the workforce partners and systems. So what we're doing with the challenge is we're trying to get employers, training providers, state and local governments to commit to build, scale, and support training programs to support 3 sectors that we're focused on the Talent Pipeline Challenge: broadband, electrification, and construction. And with electrification, we're focused on EV charging and battery manufacturing. But we want folks to either build quality training programs like registered apprenticeships, scale current efforts that they're doing, or launching supportive efforts to do some of the wraparound pieces that we think are so vital to keep workers not only into a job, but through the training program.
That's fantastic. And this effort is really focused on the building and the bridging of those partnerships that you all see and that National Skills Coalition partners have been working on as the foundation of how we're going to reach scale for workers to be able to access training and then persist through some of those support services that you talk about. This sounds like work that our network is familiar with and that a lot of your work and my work comes out of the work that's happening through the people with whom are actually running these training partnerships. How can Skills Champions get involved in this pledge?
So that's great. We're excited to get more Skills Champions in this pledge. So a couple of ways is while money won't hit the ground, in terms of shovels on the ground for the next few years, creating these foundational partnerships between employers, training providers, and governments is needed right now. And so while we're trying to collect commitments at the end of the month, we would love your network and you all to sign up to be pledge partners as part of the challenge. So bringing other employer partners to the table who want to step up here, bringing other training providers and local governments, community-based organizations who want to be a part of this. And so while we sprint through this first phase of collecting pledges and commitments, we will then work on a second phase where we do some of this more thoughtful matchmaking to help scale these partnerships.
I like the frame of this challenge and the signatures that we will be collecting over the next month is the sprint. For folks in our network that are interested in supporting the challenge, in signing on to and making the pledge and in circulating it to your network, there should be a link to a page on National Skills Coalition's website below this video that offers them more information on the pledge and an ability to sign. And we encourage you all both to sign, echoing your points, both to sign the pledge and then to circulate to other folks that are part of your network who are both doing this work with you and with whom you're reaching out to help support workers' access to these jobs. So, Ernest,
that's right, Katie.
No, please go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. That's right. If we have everyone on this call here that watches this video, if you sign up and bring 10 other folks from your network to sign up, we have over 1,000 commitments. And we think that will move the market to get other folks into the pledge because it's to their competitive advantage to stay a part of quality training providers and quality networks.
Absolutely. So as you all are running the sprint of the pledge, doing the next step you described around some of these thoughtful partnerships and the next stage of the work, I'm sure that there's more that the administration wants to do to support workers and to expand businesses' access to skilled workers. And certainly there's more that National Skills Coalition and our network will be urging you in Congress to do. What do you see as the next steps?
So, today we just announced the winners of the Good Jobs Challenge initiative. So we're going to double down on these sector partnerships, particularly for supply chain networks, as we're thinking about CHIPS Plus Plus and potentially the Inflation Reduction Act. There'll be a lot of investment in these new energy sectors and domestic production that we're going to need support on. And we're going to need to help form foundational partnerships in these sectors that haven't been around for a little while. We're going to focus on that. We're also running a registered apprenticeship sprint for cybersecurity. Again, reducing the time it takes to start a registered apprenticeship in cyber from 8 months just to a few days. We're cutting the red tape to meet the demand and provide and reduce barriers it takes to get workers in this high growth, high paid job.
That's fantastic. And I think that our network and the folks listening today will completely understand, and the ideas of supporting those industry and sector partnerships, of understanding that they take public support to help form and continue to be efficient and effective both for business and worker needs, and understanding that scaling registered apprenticeship programs and work-based learning programs are critical to how people are going to access and succeed in those programs in those industries. So thank you for joining us here today. For folks that are interested in hearing more about either the pieces of legislation, the CHIPS Plus Plus, the competitiveness bill that Harin mentioned, or around some of the work that National Skills Coalition is doing with the Talent Pipeline Challenge and implementing the bipartisan infrastructure law, I encourage you to check out our blog, and then also to sign on to the pledge and circulate it to your networks. Thank you again, Harin.
Thanks a lot.